$81 million. That's how much Twisters made on its first weekend domestically, which is the third highest domestic opening of this year, only beaten by Dune Part 2 and Inside Out 2. That is massive for a movie in the genre of disasters. I mean, if we look at the Box Office Mojo list of movies that are in the category disaster, we can see that the last time one of these movies had a domestic opening of over $60 million, if we exclude Godzilla movies, was World War Z, with $66 million domestically, 11 years ago. So the disaster movie genre has been sleeping for a while now, and I think Twisters could bring them back. But before I talk about that, we have to look at how disaster movies became really popular. The probably biggest time for disaster movies was launched by the movie called Airport, a movie based on a book that apparently was really successful. Oh, and before I forget, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, because I mean, just look at these stats. 99.9% of you are not subscribed. I mean, like that, I'll never reach 200 subscribers by the end of 2024. Anyways, back to the video. The movie was released in 1970 and it became a smash hit, amassing $128 million, which would be $1 billion in today's money. I mean, that's huge. Obviously, that kicked off the golden age for disaster movies, with famous movies like The Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, or Earthquake, all making tons of money. But then in the 80s, the genre kind of disappeared for a while, until then in the 90s, with the new age of CGI effects, new stuff was possible, and the disaster movies came back again, with the first one being Twister. With its visual effects and especially its sound design, it brought something to the table that wasn't seen before at that time. So it was a smash hit as well, earning almost $1 billion in today's money. It as well launched a sort of second golden age for the disaster movies, with everyone also wanting to make a profitable disaster movie, which in a lot of cases worked, like with Titanic, Deep Impact, or Armageddon. They all made tons of money. That trend continued for quite a long time, up until about the mid-2000s, where it kind of died down again, and the reason for that was that the genre of disaster movies was just far too oversaturated. I mean, like, every idea had already been filmed, which is why the movies made less and less until they basically went extinct again, just like in the 80s. So now, after 10 to 15 years, a disaster movie comes around, grossing one of the highest domestic openings this category has ever seen. And if Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't mess with Twister's box office, this movie will probably be a smash hit, which, as we know now by looking back, could launch a new wave of blockbuster disaster movies. The only area where I have doubts is that there isn't any new form of technology for these movies to make them something you haven't seen before, like in the 90s where we first got introduced to computer-generated effects. So maybe that will hinder the wave of disaster movies crashing over us a bit. But either way, that's why I think Twisters could bring back disaster movies. To check out how good I think Twisters is, click here. That's been it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and bye.